So I got to tell you guys about this because you may have already seen this online. On what day was that? Sunday. Yeah, Sunday. On Sunday, I met Bernie Sanders in Iowa. It was in Iowa City. We had a show that night in Iowa City, and we didn't even know that there was a Bernie rally. We found out later. Grandmother and myself is the we I'm referring to. We found out later that there was a Bernie rally earlier that day, and it was on Iowa's campus, and which is like kind of right near the city of Iowa City. It has a very Big Ten-esque setup where it's like the campus is there, and then there's the town, and it's really cool. It reminded me a good bit of Bloomington, where I went to college. I went to Indiana University. University of Iowa, cool setup. I really dug it. And so Bernie was speaking there before our show. So we decided we should go. So we went, and it was a really cool event. You probably saw some of my clips from it. They had students speak beforehand, which was really cool. All the students did a really good job. They talked about student loan debt, and they talked about the future that they're going to be looking at. And they talked about climate change. And it was really cool. Then Bernie came up, did his thing. I've seen Bernie a couple times, and I did not shake Bernie Sanders' hand. I got to meet him, but I didn't get to shake his hand. And here's what happened. So afterwards, Bernie was kind of making his way through the crowd. There was a barrier, and people were kind of like at a concert or something. Like people had their hands out, and he was walking by, and he was shaking hands, and he was taking a selfie here and there, but he wasn't really stopping. He kind of like kept slowly moving. And so I started thinking, like, what do I want to say to the guy? It's not like I have time to ask him a question, really. I can just kind of say, hey, thanks for being the only candidate to support universal broadband. Thanks for getting facial recognition right. Whatever it be. You got one passing moment, right? It's not an interview, whatever. What do I say? And as I'm trying to think about what to say, there was a gentleman right behind me with his baby. And he really, really wanted to get that baby to Bernie. I don't know if it was a baby. I don't know. It looked like maybe like two. The kid, I'm not good with ages. The kid might have been 6 months old. I don't know. I'm not good with this stuff. But the guy was really excited. And so I gave him my spot. I was like, here you go, take my spot. And so he took my spot, and Bernie, of course, posed with the picture for the baby and met the baby and stuff. And then I was sort of behind at that point. So I just figured I had one moment. So I just wished the dude a happy birthday. That's what he's like. He's just passing by. It was his birthday. I was like, hey, man, happy birthday. What are you going to do? So that's why I didn't shake Bernie Sanders' hand, because people were asking me about it. People were like, you didn't shake his hand. Why didn't you shake his hand? Because I rather would give this guy a memory that he'll have for the rest of his life. His child, the child won't remember it, but the father will. And, afterwards, that father was he had a big smile on his face, and his eyes were a little watery. And I felt good for him. And for me, I don't, a handshake isn't that big of a deal to me. You know what I mean? It's neat or whatever. It was cool to just say happy birthday to the dude. I'd rather, have a sit down with him and have an interview and talk to him about issues. I'd rather do that. When someone's passing by, I wasn't going to shout some heavy thing out or, you know what I mean? So anyway, that's why I didn't shake Bernie Sanders' hand. So some of you have been tweeting me. You're like, Ron, why didn't you? And I tweeted it. I was like, hey, man, I didn't know what to say in such a short passing moment. So I just wished the dude a happy birthday. Didn't know what else to say. And I didn't get to shake his hand. And that's why I decided, I was like, you know what? That guy and his child. Plus, let's be honest. That's something everybody would prefer seeing that anyway. Let's be real here. An adorable photo with a child, or like just me being like, ah! Come on. Me taking a goofy selfie with Bernie being like, well, and I didn't think I wanted to take a selfie. I was like, I don't want to take a selfie in this situation anyway. Because it's like it's passing by. There's a barricade. I'd rather just like, take a selfie when I'm actually talking to the dude. But anyway, so that's why I didn't shake Bernie Sanders' hand. And I'd imagine he would not take that personally, as he shouldn't. That was it's like, hey, this is I don't know what being a father is like, because Lucy, our relationship is not the same thing. It's not quite the same thing, but yeah, I don't know. I just feel like that was the right thing to do. So anyway, whatever. That's why I didn't shake Bernie Sanders' hand. For anyone who was wondering, you probably saw that video. That's what happened.
Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and make it our own. Get your